Welcome to The Line. The tax talk definitely kicked up a notch this week in the legislature as we stared down the session's last 2 weeks. House Democrats unveiled a reworked tax overhaul, which includes a mix of tax increases and tax breaks, actually. That all told will lead to new revenues for the state. Unsurprisingly, the revised plan, which is all included in House Bill 6, still created plenty of debate. We're ready to have our own debate with this week's Line panelists. We welcome back to our guest table Janice Arnold-Jones, a former member of the State House of Representatives. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Lana Atkinson's here, a professor at the UNM Political Science Department. Also with us is Zachary Quintero, UNM law student and president of the Student Trial Lawyers Association. And Justine Fox-Young is with us, another former member of the State House of Representatives and a local attorney. Welcome to you as well. Janice, starting with you. A lot included in this bill, but one thing is certain: it raises new revenue or hikes taxes, depending on how you want to describe it, in a year where the state has $1.2 billion extra. Just a big, general, broad question: is this the time to be doing things like this, revenue generating, when we have this kind of surplus, or perhaps is this the right exact time to do these kind of things? What's your sense of it?
I absolutely think this is the wrong time.
Okay.
This is not tax reform. This is a tax increase. It is not a tax overhaul. We have not fixed any of the problems that we know for sure exist in the tax code. We have done a little diddling around the edges, and I will hand you that what has happened with the hospitals is appropriate, long needed, but none of this meets the criteria that I set, which is low, broad, fair, equitable, easy to understand, easy to administer, and this bill doesn't do any of those things.
Is there anyone automatically in your mind who gets hurt from this bill? When you see this bill, is there a constituency you say, okay, this is not going to work for X group?
Absolutely, and let me get right down to the pieces nobody looks at. Compensating tax. Did you know that the compensating tax is increased in almost every category? One of the things that people don't understand is that in our gross receipts tax system, we do have a compensating tax. And if you want to know why people don't want to come here and do business with us, it's because they go, what the heck is this?
That's a tough one.
And so there are two increases. All the city efforts are all the compensating taxes increase there. You know, and you can argue, is there a good thing that online purchases are now taxed? You know, we have talked about this for years. What is the nexus? And because we didn't do it at the federal level, now the states are doing it, and the nexus is going to be our state, and I don't disagree with that.
Interesting. Zach, your take on this? We got more than a dozen taxes: tobacco, vaping, car sales, offsetting the federal tax overhaul we were just starting to talk about. It's a lot of different angles here. It all adds up to little things here and there. I'll go through some of the numbers in a second. But are you comfortable with this, the way this is going thus far? Is this the right approach?
I believe it is the right approach.
Okay.
And the reason why I do is because I think we're trying to hit this stable revenue source without depending upon the oil and gas industry for the volatility that we have. And I understand Janice's point, you know, very, very strongly. You know, we have to be focusing on small businesses, but the best way we can be able to do that as well is making critical infrastructure and investment into our schools and into the existing labor force programs that make people effective employees. And the best way we can do that is to not put all of our eggs in one basket for one industry to fund everything. We got to be able to share the burden equally.
Lana, interestingly, I can think of many guests we've had at this table, Eric Riego, a whole bunch of folks just come to mind. You know, taxing on higher income New Mexicans here and raising that back up from when it came down under the Richardson administration, that's been a goal for a long, long, long time. What does that actually really do for the situation, though? Is this part of the answer, is raising tax on the wealthy here?
Well, you know, it's in some ways it's sort of symbolic, because in fact the number of New Mexicans that are really wealthy is very, very small. This isn't California. We don't have a Hollywood. There's no really rich people giving money to lots of candidates. There's just a few rich people who get asked for money all of the time. And so you can't really put it on the backs of the rich.
Just for a number,
But
just
we're giving that money to Hollywood, aren't we?
Here we go. Well,
Let's raise that fund up, do LEDA incentives. We're going to do everything we can to bring them here so they can pillage and leave. And
you set yourself up for that. That was laying out there, buddy.
Nobody gets a local job from
But Justine, married couples making $400,000 or more, their taxes would increase by $3,099. I mean, that's no small amount of money. It's, you know.
This bill, and I hope that the Senate greatly reduces it if they don't kill it, but this bill hits everybody. From the moment you walk out your door, this bill and the other tax packages this session. If you fill your car with gas, if you smoke cigarettes, if you vape, if you
Buy a new car.
if you buy a new car,
Right, or
if you have
motorcycle.
a job on which you pay income,
Right.
and if the state isn't going to hit you, we'll talk about it later, the city's going to hit you harder on gross receipts. And so this bill affects everybody. I think I heard the speaker say yesterday that this isn't going to affect working families. Well, that's absolutely wrong. It's false. It's going to hit everybody. Every time we turn around, they're raising a tax in Santa Fe. And on the other side of the coin,
Please.
you see population fleeing New Mexico, and we wonder why. APS enrollment down, kindergarten enrollment down 20%, UNM enrollment is down. We are losing high earners, we are losing jobs, we are losing small businesses. This is the opposite of economic development.
But we're supposed to get about $325 million out of this. We're not quite sure fully because we don't know the amendments
I think
that
the
went in on
numbers are higher
Wednesday.
with the
Probably higher,
amendment.
yeah.
I think
Is it
we're up
500 now?
over 500,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Does that not make Zach's
Well,
point though?
for one
that
thing-
you know we need income. We need ways to generate money outside of
Because
oil and gas.
Because we've triple
you know?
spent everything that we have in a year with a big surplus. No, this is going to make our crash even harder. And so when the revenues decline, as they invariably do in this state, because
Right.
we are still very dependent on oil and gas, this will only make the hit harder. And a lot of this is on declining revenue sources. I mean, we cannot live on cigarette taxes.
Right.
So no, this is an economic depressant. This is the opposite of economic development, and it's going to further compound the problems in this state.
A lot of this, now let's talk about gross receipts. And I talked to friends and say you can't do one without the other. You can't do tax reform without really getting after the gross receipts problem. The imbalances out there, some counties are getting hit more than others. You know what I mean? It's a very unfair system. What do we do? Is this possible to really do tax reform without having gross receipts looked at
No,
as
we
well?
have to. That has to be part of the package.
Yeah.
It has to be part. And you can't look around us. I mean, why is it that Arizona is growing and Colorado is just growing off the charts and Texas is growing just amazingly and New Mexico is not.
Right.
And you know, part of it is our tax structure. We are the only state that has this tax structure. If we're going to talk about tax reform, which we should,
Right.
This should be part of the package.
Interesting. Zach, back to you on that. I mean, again, to your original point, if this is a way to get off of oil and gas, we're all chipping in a little bit. Is that the idea here instead
It's
of
not
having
just-
from a
it's not
single
just
source?
chipping in. It's the argument of a different economic philosophy here. And
Okay.
I think maybe I'm just on the opposite side of this, but the part that we hear from businesses on economic development are three critical foundations. The first isn't the tax structure. It's actually what they're moving into, what labor force can meet the existing market demands of their product and their services and goods. And we have been failing in that. And we inherited a mess from that from the last 8 years. The philosophy was cut our way to growth, give away tax breaks to medical companies that literally came here and pillaged populations to the core and then split afterwards. So if we're trying to make up ground for lost time, you know, we're not going to apologize for that.
Interesting point there. Janice, let me ask you this. I know when during your time in the legislature, a lot of things came up, but they had sunset clauses. It was a big thing back then. Everyone had a sunset clause. Is this the appropriate time for this, however? Can we get to a certain level of income, so to speak, and then say, okay, let's back off a little bit now that we've gotten to a certain place? Is that possible?
Well, I'm sure it's possible,
Yeah.
but let us not call this tax reform a tax overhaul, because it's not.
Right.
Right now, you are doing a short-term hit that is really going to be detrimental. And going back a little bit, when Justine and I were in the legislature, so as you know, the tax was removed from food.
That's right.
At the same time, gross receipts tax was increased by 0.5%. When this bill started, I thought, okay, well, maybe there's a little hope here that 0.5% is going to come off. No, it's in the bill. So when Justine says that this is a tax increase that hits everybody, it absolutely is. But Zach, I'm a former business owner, and I see nothing in here that actually helps me actually create or find new employees, nothing that helps me do my business easier, nothing that helps me predict what my total commitment is to the state, because the way that this is set up, you won't know. And that is a whole problem with our tax structure and the gross receipts tax policy that needs to be overhauled. It absolutely does.
Modernizing the process would be a large step in helping
Sure.
people be able to understand it to begin with. And I understand the need for not just simplification and not just adding new taxes just for the sake of adding new taxes. That's not the argument. The argument that is that if we make these baseline investments, because that's what taxes are, they're the investment in society, right? Because that's the price we pay, as the saying goes.
Sure.
If we're able to do this, then you can see the yield of results results that other successful states
Well,
have
we'll
had.
see
Other
if that
successful
pitch
counties.
works in the next election cycle. These taxes you're paying,
We're ready
this is
for
an
it.
investment in society. I think, to answer your question, Jean,
Sure.
is there any cutoff? No, the Leviathan keeps growing, the beast keeps
Right.
growing. We are looking at these tax bills because this administration is on a spending spree, and you got to fund it. And so until you rein spending in, we're just going to see tax after tax after tax. Now, there will be consequences, I think, in the next election based upon this gun legislation and the tax bills. Certainly will be
Right.
consequences. But short of that, there's nothing to stop it.
Interesting
I
point
would say,
there.
but there's another
Go ahead.
teeny tiny point, Zach. So in this bill, as we increase these taxes, I appreciate that you want to change the dynamics of our economy, but there is no guarantee that that money is going to go where you think it's going to go. There is nothing in the legislation that says the legislature is going to make those investments. And from session to session, we've watched it. It doesn't happen. And we're going to talk about missing $500 million in the city of
right.
Albuquerque
This
that
is-
we thought
we
it
have a
was going to go
history.
somewhere. and
That's
it
This is
didn't.
where we can find common ground. So we
Okay.
actually have to be able to track each dollar spent in this state. That's why we got to be able to have a modernized government system to show X amount going to account B, account C, account
Right.
D for which out-of-state contracts that didn't happen under our watch, right?
Sure.
Or to local vendors like yourself, right, to be able to benefit
You don't think
the
this is
overall
going to
economy.
corporate welfare, Zach?
I think it's going to be actually.
You don't think there's a piece of that?
I think we're going to try to dig ourselves out of a mess that a lot of people tried to give us, and then are now
Well,
trying
we'll
to be
see.
upset that we're trying to make up ground.
We'll see.
So.
I love this subject. So good. That's all the time we have on that topic. But still to come on the line, new concerns about the impacts of groundwater contamination near Cannon Air Force Base in eastern New Mexico.